am I pronouncing your name right? Decky, is it Decky?
It's Deaky. Kind of
Deaky.
rhymes with sneaky.
Sneaky Deaky.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
I
and
used
you
to
were
be a
from
member
home.
years ago, and I'm still on the mailing list. And I saw this invite, come into my inbox, and I just kind of impulsively signed up. So
I'm so glad you did. It's nice
I
to meet you. And I like your
live
red.
in Rome.
Okay.
Uh,
And Catherine, where are you from?
I am in Fairview, North Carolina, which is near Asheville. And I used to live in Atlanta, lived there from 1978 to 96. Had kept my membership for a while when I was moved to California. And then I stopped. And then after I moved back to North Carolina, I renewed my membership.
Well,
Have a lot of loyalty to GPS.
I appreciate that. And April, tell us a little bit about you. Oh, April's muted. Okay, well, let's get going then. Deaky?
yeah,
No, no, I said it wrong again.
no,
Sneaky Deaky. Yeah, I got it.
you
Okay, let's hear your first
want me
poem.
to go first? Okay. I have two poems and one in reserve, if needed. So
Okay, we'll do one at a time,
one at
round
a time.
robin.
Okay. This poem is called Threads. I can feel threads of women who came before me, the ones in before times, before social media, the internet, TV, before radio, telephone, telegraph, before electricity, automobiles, railroads, before all the technological noise. Yes, as I stand in only the cold wind and silence, the boulders and trees, I can feel those threads weaving through time to bind me to my ancestors. Village elders sewing us all up in a cloak of ongoing community. I know they existed because I exist. I am one of those threads.
I like that it binds you to your ancestors. Let me get up 1 second. I promise you, this is the most disorganized I've ever been. It's just been a crazy day. Okay, I'm ready for you now, Catherine.
I'd just like to say to Diki, I really liked the part where you mentioned about threads and sewing us. Was it sewing us up?
In on wait a minute, what did I say? Ah,
You said it was a
oh yes, village
thread
elders
that
sewing
binds us
us
to.
all up in a cloak of ongoing community.
That's really nice. I like that connection between the threads and sewing.
Well,
Thank
you're creative. I can see in your background. Are those paintings?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, well, I've got a lot in common with you two girls because I have a lot of red in my house and I am an artist, and your studio looks much nicer than mine.
Oh,
I know. Look at all your stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, what are you going to give us tonight, Catherine?
I'm going to start with one called A Goldilocks Day. Not too hot, not too cold. Sun-warmed wind cradles arms around my shoulders while I lie on matted patches of grass, searching silently for dog-shaped clouds, propped on a foliage bed. Not too hard, not too soft. Leaves scatter memories of running through the meadow. Tufts of fur wisps fly, escape from my fingers, remembering her softness. Just right. We just lost our 15-year-old, 8-month and 18-year-old dog, 18-day-old dog on November 27th.
Oh,
Taking her out for a walk one morning. When I came back in, my husband said, "So how is it out there? Is it hot? Is it cold?" And I said, "It's a Goldilocks day."
oh.
So, and
That's
then I
good.
just kind of went from there. So,
Well, I just put my dog down too, so I sympathize with you. I still get up and think I hear a bark, and I still get up think I'm going to step on it when I get out of bed. You probably have the same feelings. Has April joined us yet?
I
No.
think that you may be referring to Angie, because I don't see an April here. So,
Oh,
Oh, no. Who do we have just joined us? Hello there.
yeah,
Oh, there you are, April. I can see you now. How are you?
I don't know April. My name is Angie.
Angie.
Hmm.
Angie.
No, A''NJI.
Angie. I'm sorry, I've got new glasses and I'm not used to them. And this has not been my night of nights. Everything's gone wrong tonight. So please forgive me, okay? And
Yeah, no, I totally get the whole eyeglass thing. I'm
where
struggling.
are you from?
I am joining you just outside of Atlanta. I'm in Gwinnett.
Gwinnett.
Yeah,
whereabouts in Gwinnett?
I'm in Snellville.
Snellville.
Where are you?
I'm in North Carolina near Asheville, but I lived in Atlanta for 18 years. So
I remember you saying that. Sorry, I stepped away. I was listening as I was
Are you ready to read?
sure.
Okay.
The name of the poem I'm going to read for you is called 97 Calls. And let me just read it from my paper. I think I might be able to see it better. So give me a moment. I was going to try to do it from my screen. 97 calls. I count at least 97 times you called in anguish, screaming out your need for help, but accepting none. I am forced to accept that I can't provide none until you are ready. That's what the support groups tell me. And so I lean on prayer and the support of our angels and ancestors and gods and spirit guides collectively to bring you light and a path forward from the darkness that causes you pain, me pain, while I stand on the other end of that tunnel you can't see through, with my hand stretched out to you, wanting to grab you and yank you through, shake you till you come to my senses of understanding. Should you want to live on and prime the pump of life to share gifts bestowed upon you even before your birth, 97 or more. Times my heart breaks into a million helpless pieces that most likely do not match the number that your heart breaks a day, 97 times at least.
Wow. 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 That's very sensitive. That's very, very sensitive. Well, I think I'll follow with one now. I'm glad it's just us girls tonight. We can have a good time, can't we? Not men aren't welcome, but this is fun tonight having just ladies. Let's see. Oops, I had it. Hold on. This one is called Not Intentional. Okay. It says, Dear God, I'm so grateful for blessings time neglect. Your life sustaining gifts I've managed to forget. I've managed to survive the good times and the bad. Sometimes I'm too busy, and I know this makes you sad. So, God, please forgive me for now and later, too. I'll always have regrets for things I didn't do. You know my every dream, how I'm living each day. Hear the hopes in my heart, would be prayers, didn't pray. Dear God, it's not intentional. I'm so tired all the time. Been known to fall asleep. My prayers still on my mind. So I don't know if y'all have ever fallen to sleep praying, but that's what that one's all about. So I am guilty of doing that. All righty, we're ready to go around again. Okay.
Okay. This is called Just a Touch Nuts.
Just a touch what?
Nuts.
Nuts. Okay.
just a touch, huh?
Just a touch. I'm just a touch nuts, but only a touch. Just enough to plan a day of play away, to build a buffer between the waste and haste out there and the me that is right in here. I'm just a touch nuts, but only a touch. Just enough to know that tomorrow I will say no to the world, take some time to breathe, and melt into the woods atop Taylor's Ridge. I'm just a touch nuts, but only a touch. Just enough to anticipate the downward trend of mood and energy transported by those high, thin clouds, sliding between me and the sun, darkening the silvered trees, turning footsteps toward home.
Are you sure it's just a touch?
No, maybe more, actually.
Oh, that was so cute. I like your sense of humor. I like your attitude. Don't you, Catherine?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All righty. What are you going to give us now, Kathy?
Okay. It's called When Life Gives You. I count each time a friend twitters to Ethel that she should make lemonade from the lemon harvest life hands her again and again. She wraps arms around full breasts, her milk drying up, gazes through lace curtains. Her body looks like a tree withering in dry soil. Ethel cradles her belly, tunes out their whispered words. She reaches for a knife, slices a lemon. Be sure to add a cup full of sugar. It's a shame your little bird squeezer isn't painted blue. What you need is a bluebird of happiness fluttering in your bedroom, scattering hope between the sheets. She cups me in her palm, pulls up my yellow metal handle, wedges a plump piece of lemon in my belly, squeezes the handle. Pale juice pours out my open beak, splashes in a glass pitcher. Oh, yes. Ethel and I listen to their bird quips, wish we could fly out of the room, land in a tree outside her kitchen. But we perch together inside, alone at last. Lemon juice drips over my grooved wings as she stirs the liquid, moving circles. She prays aloud. Please, God, let me spread my wings, escape this uncultivated land. She grabs a lined recipe card, a fountain pen, scribbles Ethel's lemonade elixir across the top. Ingredients: 5 lemons, ripe for picking, water to wash away their lost juices, 1 cup of white sugar to release bitterness. Squeeze wet lemon wedges gently in bird's belly. Pour into pitcher. Stir again and again. Hope. Ethel picks me up and I nestle in her palm. She gazes at my chipped yellow paint, flecks of gray metal exposed like wounds, sets me on the tablecloth and sips a cup of her lemon elixir. Pen grasped in her hand, she writes in script on the bottom of the card. Happiness is an impossible wasteland.
Oh, wow. What was the source of your thinking on that?
I had seen this little yellow, and it is a
little lemon squeezer.
lemon squeezer.
A real implement.
Lemon in there.
Right.
It's a persona poem in that the bird is the one as the narrator of the poem.
Right.
I had seen that there's an antique kind of flea market sort of place that everybody has a booth, and they had posted a picture, and the vendor who had this, I saw it on the shelf and I thought, oh, I need that. And so I went over and thought there's a poem in there somewhere. And I was taking a class with Julie Blumke, an online class, and she had these dice that had words on them, and she rolled out words and she gave each one of the students words that we had to incorporate into our poem. And so mine had to be happiness, maybe impossible wasteland. So that's how my ending line were the words from the block. But the poem is about a woman who's had multiple miscarriages, and her friends coming over and telling her what she needs, or what they think she needs to
Yeah,
get to this.
that's why you were saying about pouring the lemon to make lemonade, and it couldn't work in this instance.
No.
Very interesting. Okay. Help me pronounce it. Anji?
Yeah.
Am I getting better?
You're there. You're exactly where you need to be, Barbara.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you for that.
Well, just keep helping me.
um, yeah, so and the next poem is called Watching, and I realized I didn't give you any background on 97 calls. I think is pretty obvious, but as a advocate for a family member who suffers from mental illness and also a facilitator for NAMI, that's where what the poem is about, and who the poem is for, I guess.
And I think more poems should be written about that. I think this is your way, which is something I'm doing too, is to make awareness of people's lives that are not as benefited as ours are, and that we should try to have people have empathy for those we love, have empathy for those they don't understand. Do you ladies agree?
Most definitely.
Do you write about all these different situations?
I do. Yeah, I do not. That one just made its way to the forefront. So, yeah.
They have a way of doing that, don't they, Angie?
True, they do.
Okay, I'm ready for your next one. Watching.
Yeah, it's called Watching. It's a surrealist poem, poetry form that I wrote when I was in a workshop with the Poetry Foundation, actually. And so this is one of my surrealist poems, I guess I could call it. Watching black maple drops on the jazz label, making sweet sounds, treble, bass, clap, all over the page, and me smile while watching this dance of my people. Last April, warm and true, black angel at the table, warm and true, almost like blues. When hearts are trampled down like real, practical in its truest nature, like tactical pain with a green leaf wrapped around the girl, the sister, and her audience, including me, watching with saccades.
Now, what was wrapped around?
What was wrapped around?
Yes, that last sentence you read.
Yeah, it was like tactical pain with a green leaf wrapped around the girl, the sister, and her audience, including me, watching with saccades or rapid eye movement. And this was actually it came from a poem. It was so I should also call it a dream poem because a lot of these images were experienced that morning after I woke up, or in the dream right before I woke up, and they made it to the poem.
This is such an interesting night tonight, ladies. I'm so happy to be with you girls. We're girls, aren't we? We're girls. We're girls.
Don't get hard.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm going to read one that I don't know if any of you have ever had a dealing with a narcissist or know anyone that has been in a relationship with a narcissist. Well, now don't you know I can't find it. Well, I'll read this one called Weight Watcher. I enjoy eating for pleasure, of course, to celebrate. I'm in congestive heart failure, so I have to watch my weight. Watch my weight on the scale go up, watch it there, stay and stay. Watch it at my doctor's. Oh my, what will they say? Second diuretic pill added, weight down, they've got to see. In case you haven't taken them, guess what? They make you have to pee. Blood test this time, I didn't fail. Numbers really look great. Doc said I could eat fried chicken and at last enjoy a steak. My specialist shocked me when my night leg cramps did begin. Take a glass of tonic water, add vodka shot or gin. With all my other rare ailments, though my weight's up and down, still know the best places to eat. So call me when you're in town. Okay.
Man, the nighttime leg cramps, that resonated.
What really helps?
Try the tonic water, actually.
Oh, but listen, let me tell you something that's even better. Let me tell you something better.
Yeah.
You know the little stuffed green olives with the pimento in them?
Mm-hmm.
If you just drink a little bit of that juice, a sip.
Okay.
I was at a hotel or a convention, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm down in the lobby asking the man, could they go in the kitchen and just get me
Oh, wow.
and he asked me the next morning, did it work? And I said it worked, So not
I've heard
supposed to
something
do that.
similar with pickle juice.
Oh,
I
interesting.
wonder if it's the vinegar.
Yeah, maybe.
That's interesting. But yeah,
Yeah,
I hear you on the nighttime leg cramps. Yeah.
yeah. They're
That's
not
cute.
fun.
Mm.
Okay, it's your time again.
Oh, okay. This poem is in memory of my late husband, and it's called The Sun Has Slipped. And suddenly I know the sun has slipped toward fall because there's more shadow earlier on the sod John so carefully laid during the pandemic when there weren't nothing else to do except put in a new shower, trim the large limbs off the oaks, and just generally hunker down and wait it out. COVID and assorted other weirdnesses. And so we waited and waited right into another round of cancer, worse this time. Not just as the pandemic was retreating, so was John. Now the pandemic is kind of sort of gone, but John is really truly gone, except not, because how can he be gone when I'm here today, noticing the retreating sun and writing this poem about him?
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss. That happened during COVID.
Actually, it happened in 4/20/22.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just as everything was sort of getting back to normal. So he didn't get to see that happen.
So I hope you're doing a lot of writing because, poetry, I think even though this is on YouTube, I think people ought to realize how comforting poetry can be to pick up a book and read it or to hear someone read. Do you ladies all agree?
I
Yeah,
think it's, always gets that connection with our humanity
exactly.
throughout throughout the years and across time and continents. And
Right.
yeah.
That was beautiful. I wish you could have heard it. That's very lovely. Okay, Catherine.
Okay. This one is called Waning Moon Rising, December 22nd, 1948, 4:28 p.m. I
Wow.
entered the world prematurely, feet first. Catherine Suzanne, a pure, graceful lily. Akaterine from Greek, French for Shoshana. I am a Capricorn mountain goat, watcher of the waning humpbacked moon rising, the womb of potential. Moon scattered an intuitive spark in my heart, my mind, handed me a deep, reflective nature to view life from a distance, behind my camera lens, to dip brushes in watery colors. Saturn ruled, sowed ambition with seeds of patience and peace. I persist, rise each day, each year. I am a Chinese zodiac rat, collector of worthless treasures, tufts of dog fur, old French keys, lone earrings. Moon scattered my lucky number with my babies entering the world on the 7th day in 2 different months. An earth rat, gardener of lilies, my lucky flower. I nurture my lowered immune system, a gift from Moon or Saturn. I rule, always biting off more than I can chew. Ambitious, persistent. December 22nd, 2022, 4:28 p.m. My horoscope for this day rises with the moon. Do not leave regrets. Ne laissez pas de regret. I rule, ambitious, always biting off more than I can chew, persistent.
Wow, I like that. And you said the collector of what did you, of nonsensical things,
Worthless treasures.
worthless treasures.
If I'd been a little boy, I probably would have had my pockets filled with all kinds of stuff. And maybe as a little girl, I did.
Now listen, I'm going to defend you, darling. Okay, you know what that is? That is creative collections. I have stopped in my car, opened the door, and reached out and picked up something off the ground that I could put paint on and stamp with on a painting. So, and AJ, if you haven't painted, you may not know about those worthless treasures that we collect. Is that not right? You use them in your paintings or anything?
I can use this for something.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, AJ, we're ready for you.
And so this next one is called Escape Valve. I'll do this one. This is from our collection. There's a group that I hang out with called Earth Poets, and we do poetry out in nature seasonally. And so this is one of our collections of poetry that we've assembled a number of years ago. I think it's been quite a while. 2012, it looks like. Yeah. But this one is called Escape Valve. There it is again. A little smile pressing corners like an iron's release. Just a little more steam from my heart, from my mind. Spacious green, blue skies, my favorite place, my escape valve. I start on winding trails, delight in toadstools that wait for toads, windblown pussy willows wave. A long and deep exhale makes me lighter. Lizard crossing, I yell to myself. I catch smells of smelling people who know the secret. I hear ladyhawks squeaky cry from majestic oak perch above. Clicks and chirps of birds, chorus glorious symphonies, sun smells from behind clouds, and mute golden kisses on my face. I exhale, release just a little more steam. My headache lifts until gentle winds pass playground squeals of little kids on unoiled swings all sing, "You can't catch me, na 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 na." Perspiration guides me lakeside to a gazebo of cool breezes, fishes and frogs, turtles, waterfalls, fowls, dragonflies, flies, water skippers dance on glimmering pond.
You have such a beautiful way of reading. Has anyone ever told you that before?
Thank you for that. I appreciate you saying so.
No, isn't her voice is very soft, very nice. I like that. We've talked about rain hawks. Did I hear you say rain hawks?
No, rain hawks. There were no hawks in here.
Well, it was rain something, and I thought whatever it sounded good, whatever it was. Did you hear it?
I heard Lady Hawk, I thought.
I thought
Oh,
too.
Lady Hawk. Yes, thank you. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you, because there's another poem in here where I talk about a cardinal. But yeah, I hear Lady Hawk's squeaky cry from a
That's it.
perch above. Yes.
The squeaky cry. Well, I knew if something was there going to cry.
That is so descriptive.
Yes, and you know what I hope we can do? We can go till 9 o'clock. You may not want to go that long, but I'll be here as long as you want to. And we can tell the gentleman, I shouldn't be even saying that, we could get together and just chat after we read our poems too, if you want to, and get to know each other. This is like ladies' night.
And unfortunately, Barbara, I was supposed to leave at 7:30, but I would love to hear your last poem. And then I'm going to bid you all adieu and plan to join again soon.
Well, do you have another poem you would like to read before you leave?
No, I want to hear yours. Thank you, though.
And now, are you a member of the Georgia Poetry Society?
Been in the past. Yes.
Well, darling, this is a personal invitation. Come on back. I'm a vice president, doesn't know what I'm doing, but I'm having a marvelous time doing it, and I would love for you to join and help me. And if you had gotten on earlier, you would have seen how much trouble I got in. So we welcome anybody and everybody's talent, and we'd like to hear more of your poetry. So please join us every month.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the
I
invitation.
hope you'll be back.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you. Okay, is it? No, it's not my time. It's your time, Dickie.
Well,
Dickie.
actually, I have everything that I was going to share tonight, but I'm happy to listen.
Okay, do you have another one, Catherine, you would like to share?
I have one that's also a nature one.
All right.
Nice follow-up.
Okay.
It's called Winter Dance. Come closer, child. Old Man Winter left an unwrapped gift. Snowflakes sprinkled on our stump. Watch as we breathe out, releasing tiny droplets in a misty cloud. Wait as icy crystals melt on your tongue in the wintry air. Whirl around the white dance floor with me, leaving a flurry of footprints. Old Man Winter lingers in the woods, delights in Earth Mother's dance.
Y'all are so descriptive with your words. Have you been writing a long time?
I have.
What about you, Dickie?
Since college, really, in the 80s, early 80s.
Well,
So
you mentioned 80s, and I'm not saying the early 80s. I'm saying I'm in my 80s. I've started. So, I really am
that's
enjoying
a
it.
long time now.
Yeah.
I
I'm going to
mean,
read one called I'll Get There Eventually. You can tell I'm writing from an age of perspective of age is what I was trying to say. I'll get there eventually. I'll get there. Believe me, places I really need to go. Others may ride above me. Eventually, I'll show. I'll get things that are left undone, finished in my own time. Things to do I may finally do if they don't slip my mind. I'll remember important things if tell me more than twice. Never know how grateful I am. You're patient, very nice. I'll get through tasks just like others. Due to health may take time. Realize some folks don't understand what's happening to my mind. In time, you may get where I am. Pray, friends, therefore, you too, taking time to say thank you, to thank God that I have you. So I'm going to say, now don't y'all go away. Thank you. Tonight's open mic was sponsored by the Georgia Poetry Society. We hope that you'll join us in January. We're starting a new year. And this is the year we're calling the year for the members. We have so many exciting things that we're offering. We're offered tier memberships. We're offering all the members this time who have paid their dues do not have to enter a contest and win it in order to have their poems in the anthology. This anthology is a gift to you, our members, for the years you supported us, and for those who are willing to come on board and be a part of this and share your talents with us. We are welcoming people that from all races, everywhere across the board, new writers like myself, or those who are teachers and scholars and really know everything about poetry. You don't have to be a professional to join us or to join open mic. So this is Barbara Berry DeShadian from Macon, Georgia. I am the vice president of the Georgia Poetry Society, and I'm inviting everyone to join us as soon as you can because there is a discount. It's only $30 right now to the end of the year. So it's going to go up a little bit next year. So please join us as quickly as you can. For that $30, you're going to be guaranteed one poem in our anthology, Reach of Songs. You may enter two, but the judges will select one or two. It'll be their choice. I've had an enjoyable night with you ladies, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Okay, now stay with me. Now we can just talk and visit, okay?
I
Oh.
have some questions. In order for you to be on the membership list that is submitted to the National Federation of State Poetry Societies,
You are a member.
when is the cutoff? So I heard you just tell us to go ahead and we can renew or start a new membership depending on our circumstance now before the end of the year. But do you have any idea when?
Okay, if I'm getting your, let me say this, and it may answer your question. Anyone who is a member of the Georgia Poetry Society is automatically a member of the national. And let me tell you something I should have said. Maybe he can patch this together. Marion, and I'm going to say something, and maybe you can patch it. One last thing I want to say before I say good night is the National Poetry Convention has chosen Roswell, Georgia, for the place of their convention this year.
Oh, wow.
And so the Georgia Poetry Society will be the host. The Georgia Poetry Society will be the host, and there will be maybe 38 different societies joining us in Roswell. So get your membership in. We'll be feeding you information. Who knows? One of you may be my roommate. So let's see what we can do, and I hope you'll join us.
When will that be happening?
Why did you have to ask me on the air?
Okay.
I don't have my notes. It's going to be this June, the beginning of June. And so you get all that information. And then you can come to our board meetings. And then instead of January, I believe our board meeting this week is this next year is going to be in February, because we have so much to put together to share. And so all of you will be at that meeting. So you'll get all the latest information and updates. Okay. Thank you, Marion, for hosting this and doing this for me tonight. Appreciate you. Good night.
Thank you.
I don't know what he's going to do with us zigzagging in before, but I love being with you ladies. We know how to move around and change, don't we? And go with the flow. Have either of you put out a book yet?
I did. I self-published all my work up to about 06.
Well, you know, there's a library that we have where your books will be put in if you want to.
Okay.
Did you know that too, Catherine?
That's neat.
You know, I wish I had a place where we could put our paintings too. I'd have more to offer in the way of art than I do a book. I haven't done a book yet. Have you, Catherine? Are you working on one?
I've done two self-published. One I did through Blurb, and then the other one, I was taking French classes with a wonderful fellow. He was a retired French professor of French literature. And I just decided, spur of the moment, that I would take 3 words or expressions from each class, and I would write a poem in French.
Oh.
And so I started, and I had like about 9, and it's like, well, that's not very much for a book. So I kept going on it and had more. And but I wrote them in French first, which was a good stretch for me to have to look up words and see what words I could find. And then I wrote them in English. So I wrote them in French and then did my own translation. And I had my husband look at them because his French is much better than mine. And I used, I think I ended up using Shutterfly because they had more of the accent marks that are on French letters than Snapfish. And so I did that, and I made a hardcover book for Phil, our teacher, who unfortunately passed away in 2022 from liver cancer. But I gave them that. Well, I started writing them in 2019. I think I gave him the book in 2020. And then I made copies, soft cover copies, for my classmates. So,
Oh.
and I gave one to my original French teacher through UNCA here in Asheville. There's a college for seniors, and that was where I had started taking French as an adult. And so I gave a book to her. And then during the pandemic, I just decided, okay, I'm stuck at home. So I decided I was going to write a poem a day. And some days it was a little tough and they were a little sketches. It's like, really, that's all you had. But the winter dance one, I want to do a book. It's called To Dance with Earth Mother.
Oh, nice.
And it would be divided, it's going to be divided into seasons. And so that winter dance was Earth Mother talking to the child. And the dance is through there. So that's my plan.
Have you done a chapbook? That's a smaller book. Have you done one of those?
I have not done a chapbook.
Well, this is something we're thinking about doing too. I came on board late. I feel like we're starting the year in January, but they usually have a chapbook contest that ends like in September. Well, we were just getting up and going again because we lost some members and lost some board members. And so we're trying to regroup again. And I have never done a chapbook. I'm trying to get my book finished now. Getting it compiled is driving me bonkers. I mean, and I don't, as you know, ladies, I do not know how to work a computer. And I'm typing my home book myself, and I just get so messed up. But I would like for us to see, I'm going to bring it up at one of our board meetings, if we could maybe do, oh, you got a baby. Oh, wait till you see my baby. What's her name?
This is trouble.
Trouble. Boy or girl?
Boy.
To be that
He's the
big.
one who likes to come and see what's happening on the Zooms.
Yeah, that's what mine does too.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to get the chapbook going again. And that may be an incentive for you.
Yeah, okay.
And the Reach of Song anthology is by Ruth. He was the teacher at Young Harris Junior College when I went there. And so there's a lot y'all can get involved in. Would either of you be interested in volunteer to take a position on the board?
No.
Come on now. I've been very nice.
I know. Oh man, I've done so many groups, and I know what it's like to try to regroup. And yeah, but I am interested in joining. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I don't even remember when I was. It would be maybe 2015 or even 14.
Well,
I've been on the kind of the mailing list this whole time, but something just made me, log in today, and I'm glad I did. It was enjoyable.
We had 8 people signed up for tonight. I don't know.
People flake out.
But our
I like the virtual though. I mean, I during the pandemic, I learned that the Zoom, this format works for me, and it's been helpful to reach out, into different communities, and because not everybody can go to Atlanta all the time, and
right.
This is like a night for me. It's like a nice interim. You can still get to know people and see their faces and.
Right. Well, see, I haven't been able to get out of the house since 2019. My socials have just been in the hospital and doctors.
Yeah.
And, you know what I got my doctor to do for me, girls? I got both of them. I just had a right heart cath, and I told my doctor, write me a prescription that says I can go to the conventions. And so both of my doctors wrote a prescription to give to my family, giving me permission to go.
Good.
Now I just got to get a roommate, and I'm planning on sneaking out. I may have to sleep out in the garage because they said I can't come into the house for 7 days if I leave because my husband's going to be 94. And he was reaching over behind me earlier to get something. I don't know if you saw him because I'm sitting in his chair. But no, I agree with you. To me, doing the Zoom has been like a cord of breath, fresh air, a cord of life to connect, with you and to see what we've got in common. Like I know you and I have the art in common. You and I have cats in common. I have a huge Maine Coon
Oh, wow. Those are nice cats.
that sleeps right beside my head and shoulder every night on her little pillow and towel. And well, after losing your dog, how lonely you feel.
Yeah.
And my dog had gotten old and couldn't jump on the bed, so she came and took his place, or he came and took her place. So tell me a little bit more about where do you sell your books? Both of you tell me. How do you get them?
Person to person.
Do you like that? Have you gotten them
Yeah,
in your
actually, my husband and I kind of started a little publishing company together so he could self-publish his first novel. And that was actually that's how we met. He was looking for an editor at the Rome Area Writers, and that was in 07. And so he said, we can learn to do this. And I just learned the formatting part with InDesign, and we did his book, and people came and said, "Hey, do mine." And that was and what was the original question?
Well, how
how
you
do I sell? And we also have bonsai. We had a pruning book together, and in order to sell the pruning book, we came up with the gimmick, which was bonsai. Because he
I
was
don't know what that is.
the Japanese trees,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
trees.
Well, how
Yeah,
does
the
that
Japanese
tie
art.
into your book?
Because we went to an arts and crafts show, and said, "Here's our printing book, and you can practice on this little bonsai," and it was a popular. And we just go to book clubs and we just talk about it all the time, or we did. But it's just word of mouth. Word of mouth is really the way to sell over time.
If you have connections.
And you just talk about it I have a book, and people are like, "Oh, I'll read it," and it's good. So just keep talking about yourself.
And Catherine, how do you get yours?
The one that I did through Blurb, when I first wrote it, I didn't make it live. And I'm trying to think something made me decide, okay, let's take it live. And so I did that.
Now, when you say you took it live, exactly.
So to make it live puts it out there that people can actually buy it. And you decide how much your book was going to sell for and what profit you're going to make. And so I had decided that the profit that I made from selling the books, that I wanted to use that money. There's a group here in North Carolina. It's called Arts for Life. And they work with children who are hospitalized, and they do art with them, kind of art therapy, but while they're in the hospital. And I really liked the organization. And so I decided that I would donate whatever profits I made to this group. And so I just put it out there on Facebook. No pressure, friends. Right? And it was interesting because there were one or two friends who actually bought the hard copy book. I figured that people would just buy the paperback version, but so I can't remember how many I sold. So even though it's out there, it's only my friends who bought it. And then when I did the book in French, my first French teacher, Betty, from College for Seniors, she brought it to her French class.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Which is the advanced class that my husband's in. And one of the gals there, she was interested in buying it. And Shutterfly says that you cannot sell your book professionally. You can give it to somebody, but they don't want you selling it because I guess if you're getting a discount on extra pages, et cetera, that they don't want you to do that. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who say, oh, I didn't know that. But I'm a rule follower. And but I did sell the one to one of the students in the advanced class, but I told her that I would charge her what the book cost me. So right. I didn't.
You weren't making
profit. Yeah, if the book cost me $20, I didn't charge her $25. I just was at cost.
What size are your books, ladies? What size?
Room size?
What size book?
6 by 9.
6 by 9.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? I'm doing mine, of course, on what is it, 9 by 11 note, paper print. And I want to put pictures in mine of my pets and things like that. And I don't know if that's going to be too small because you'll be reading a poem and then the picture's on the other side of the page unless you make it left and right. And how do you know when it's going to turn out? There's just so much I have to learn yet. Now, do you belong to an art association?
I belong to a couple, but with
that's a nice way to sell your book.
Oh, that's a possibility. With the French book, I did use my photographs from trips to France.
And
so I was just looking to see if I had one of a book up here, but they're downstairs. Today was not a good day. I was hauling cardboard boxes back out to the garage because I had finished my packaging for Christmas presents. And when I was moving stuff around and I turned to go back to where the boxes were, I didn't realize that there was something in my way.
Oh no.
And yeah. I tripped and fell on it and put my right hand out.
Oh.
Well, I fell and I wrenched my back and I landed on my right knee, but my right hand wrist landed in some other box. And I was like, why do we have all this stuff out here? Come on. Oh. And it didn't, I put ice on when it happened. And then after dinner, when I came upstairs for our open mic, it's like, what's happened to my wrist?
Oh no.
I can hardly move.
Oh no.
My wrist, and it's sore and there is swelling like here, but
we'll check it out tomorrow.
I reach for something with my right hand and it's like, you know what? I guess I'm done with making my Christmas presents that I was going to make.
Well, this just proves to me.
But with the French book, though, I had, when you open it up, so on this side would be the poem.
Right, and on the right-hand side
would be the photograph. Right. And then when you flip to the next page, the photograph was on this page. So the photos were back to back. And then, and then in the back of the book, because my husband asked, so are you going to put them in English? And I said, well, he said, there'll be people who won't be able to read the French.
Right.
And he said, okay. So in the back, I just did the English translation of them with no photos there. And then I also gave in the back a list of the photographs, the poem title, and then the photograph location, where Francis was, just in case anybody was interested.
Right.
And I just sent one to our newest French teacher that we have. She's a retired professor, French professor from University of North Carolina here in Asheville. And I'm hoping that when she looks at it, she says, wow, these are really great. I love the photos. And I just happen to know somebody. So we'll see. She is a co-author of a French textbook.
See, that's what we all need, Nikki, isn't it? We all need context.
Oh, yeah.
So she, she may know somebody, she may not, but I didn't give it to her on the that would be in.
Well, our tech guy is Marion Owens. He's phenomenal. And what he's doing is he's offering to the members free lessons on doing things, making connections. This is something we're adding to our program this year.
Nice.
And then every other Tuesday, he gets with us board members to lay out things. And I just think it's great to not have to pay to get technical advice.
Mm-hmm.
And we have him at our disposal to say, and we're going to do, we had a gentleman on a couple of months ago. I wish you could have heard him read. Ladies, he was from Wales. We had an elderly gentleman. He was younger than me, but had been in the war or remembered the BBC radio stations, and the voice of some of those announcers was like honey. I think the guy's name was Daniel. He could have read an obituary column or a grocery list. He would have mesmerized you with his voice. Not only did I beg him to rejoin, I said, give us a class on how to do what you did, You're going to love coming back on. I'll be more organized the next time.
This is great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Very well.
Thank goodness it was you ladies and we understand each other, but those men would have gotten a little perturbed.
It was a nice introduction to the open mic, so it worked well.
Well, I tell everyone I wear a mask because I don't want to get what do you call it, a computer virus. I hope soon I'll be under the mask. But there was something else I wanted to tell you. But come on back. I'll have your addresses. Let me give you something of mine if you want to connect with me.
I can put my email in the chat. And I guess I'll just dig around in my emails and find out how to join.
Okay.
I'll just look into that, and I can put my name in the chat in my email.
I don't know that much about chat, but let me give you my name. It's Barbara Barry, Barry. Now that's how people know me here in Macon, Georgia, because I started our first Friday art stroll thing here. And then my married name, let me spell that for you. Barbara Barry with an A is easy. The married name, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
N like Nancy, Ishanin, Nishanin.
It's up there on under your picture.
Okay, well, I don't see me or anything, so I don't know.
Barry Nishanian?
Yes. And some people say Nishanian. In New York, they said Nishanyan, which is very pretty. But let me give you my email. It's the name of my business that I had. It's a combination of two names. Joy Scenes, that's JoyCins @gmail.com. Now, what I've got to do is try to bring that Facebook site up and have it include poetry, because now I don't have my gallery, I don't have my jewelry shop, and I don't have my Barbara Barry Creative Studio where I was teaching anymore. So I need to get my poetry involved with that site. So that's how you can connect me. And I love to talk on the phone and not email. So just call me anytime after lunchtime. If you're awake at 1 o'clock, you can try getting me then. If your leg is giving you a cramp, just call and ask me if I've got any olive
juice.
Ladies, it has been a ball.
It's been wonderful. I'm going to go take some Tylenol.
Yes, please.
I hope you're not hurt bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say that over the years, I have practiced writing with my left hand.
Oh, wow.
It's sort of legible. And when my kids were little, I used to sign the gift tags with their name on it. And if it was from Santa, I wrote Santa, and it really looked like an old person's handwriting because I was doing it left-handed. And they never had a clue. And then when my high school was having it was our 20th reunion, and I went to write a postcard to one of my friends, was living in Atlanta, and I had found a postcard of Clark Gable and Vivian Lee from Gone with the Wind.
Oh, wow.
Scarlett and Rhett. And so I wrote left-handed to this classmate on the postcard, telling her, "Dear Mary Lou, frankly, my dear, I do give a damn whether you go to your high school's 20th reunion." I was so proud of this. And I showed it to my kids. Oh my gosh. Oldest daughter looked at it and she said, "It was you. It was you." And I thought,
You gave it away.
said, "You were Santa. You wrote that." So yeah, so I just had to.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I see that.
Left-handed, but I can
Oh,
write.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do good. That's very, very good.
I cannot write with my right hand.
Oh, well, do take care of that. You
I'll
don't.
let you know.
Okay, keep in touch. Will both of you keep in touch?
Yes. And I am going to look into
Join while it's $30. Join
Yeah.
while it's $30.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
you guys? Okay, good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mary. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.